All right, are we in business? Okay, sorry, the battery died. So, but you just want to give some sort of indication to the reader what this is all about. So for this one, I'm going to put it in quotation marks since it's the name of a piece that the kids made. I'm going to call it Outer Space Town. And now, if you want this keyboard to disappear, the little keyboard button right there, and I can see the full document now. But I still don't have my picture in there. So I'm going to go into the observation box. Tap it once, still nothing. Tap it again. Nothing's happening, right? It's because I'm not editing. So I'm going to push this blue button, edit. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go to this observation box. I'm going to tap it a couple times. Now I got my blinking bar. Now here's a trick when you're putting in a photo into a Google Doc. You want to press return a couple of times. Now I'm going to press this add button. Whoop, up there. There's a little add button. I'm going to push this add button and I want to select image. Image. Now this image that I'm about to select, it isn't the one that you saved in your Google folder. So if you took a photo and you saved it to your Google folder, you want to wait before you delete your photo. You want to wait until you do your observation form. But if you can't get it from your observation form, there is a way to get your photo into your Google Doc by using a computer. But if you have the photo on your iPad, you haven't deleted it yet, you're going to go into your photos, from photos. I'm going to select this picture right here. And I'm going to get rid of my keyboard here. Get rid of my keyboard. And my photograph is now in my observation. Now, this is up to you to decide. So, if this were me, and this was my observation that I took, and I put this picture here, sometimes I let the picture just speak for itself, right? This is an observation. The story of the picture is enough, right? In this particular example, I don't feel like the picture of the work sample, the drawing, I don't feel like it tells enough of a story. I don't think it captures what happened there. So, oops, again, I'm messing up again. I need to press my blue edit button. I go into that box until I get a blinking bar again. Press enter a couple times. And now, I'm ready to type an observation. Now, to keep the video moving, I don't want to, because right now I might write a couple paragraphs about what happened. I might write just one sentence. It really is up to you. This is the beauty of this type of a template, is that what you're paying attention to and what you value matters, right? And that's what ends up coming out onto this template. The other thing is so if you're just capturing an observation just to do the observation, it's pretty easy to tell. As someone who's reading your observation, I can tell, oh, this person didn't really care that much about this observation. They just took it just to take it, probably because they had some sort of quota or something like that. But, just keep in mind that the parents can probably perceive that as well, right? So you want to put some sort of intention or thought into your observation. But for the purposes of this video, this is just about the technology. I'm just going to write in here, Henry and Oliver drew this drawing together. That doesn't really capture the whole story. I mean, there was a lot more detail to this story, but for the purposes of this example, I'm just going to write that one sentence just to show you what's going on. So the observation is intent, and we're going to talk a lot more about observation versus analysis. But this observation is just supposed to be what happened. describe what happened. What did you see? What did the children do? Right? What happened? Down below in the analysis, oh, I don't know why the box was moving around, but if it moves around, you can just set it back right there. I can tap in this box, I can press my blue edit button. Oops. So my keyboard's covering that box. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to into this analysis box. Still no blinking blue line yet. Now I've got my blinking blue line. I'm going to press enter a couple times. And for the analysis, I'm allowed to, because of this template, now I can talk about why I captured this observation. What about it is important? So this is a place where I might put in like those developmental checklists that everyone was using for TS Gold and things like that. This is where I would talk about some of those developmental milestones. If there was something that the children were doing with their fine motor skills or their storytelling ability or their letter recognition or something along those lines, I would put that here in the analysis, right? I personally, when I did my analyses, I would write a lot. I would write 2, 3, 4 paragraphs about why I felt this was important. I would talk about those developmental milestones, but I would also talk about the fact that, Oliver and Henry are really close. And in this particular example, Henry is a kid who loves to draw and he loves to tell stories, and Oliver not so much. And Oliver is, but he just likes hanging out with Henry. So Henry draws this very intricate picture, and the kids are going. Oliver and Henry are going back and forth, and they're telling this story. By the way, all of this would go into the observation part, not the analysis. But the analysis would be, Oscar. So if I was writing this analysis for Oliver, I would say Oliver is, really benefiting from his friendship with Henry here. In this particular example, Oliver is taking some risks with his drawing. He's showing some development in his drawing ability, etc., etc., etc. So that's where the analysis goes in. So for this one, if I'm just going to write this one for Oliver, right, I'll put Oliver shows some new abilities in this drawing. I might talk about the storytelling part of it. I might talk about the actual drawing ability, which I think most adults tend to focus in on. And I would talk about the relationship, so on and so forth. But for the purposes of this example, this is just showing you the technology. I just put that brief little sentence in the analysis. I'm going to hide my keyboard. Now, this is where we get at, so remember we had lots of conversations about plans and planning. This is how I did my planning. So whenever I did any of these types of observations, right, I would consider, it covered up that box. I'm going to scroll down, go to Wonderings and Next Steps, tap again, go to the blue line, enter. For Wonderings and Next Steps, that's where I would put down, based on this observation, I'm going to set up some more collaborative drawing and writing experiences for the kids. In fact, I want to set up a whole collaborative storybook theater for the kids. This is something I'm pondering. I might do. I'm going to discuss that with my co-teacher of setting up a storybook theater for the kids, or a book making provocation for children, or I'm just going to observe them some more. I'm going to leave out the same materials of the paper and the markers and see if they come back to that. So on and so forth. But this is my plan. This is a written plan, or possible plans, right? Or big questions that I have. So it's also a place where I could talk about, I wonder if Henry's drawing is actually limiting Oliver's creativity rather than making it flourish. In this particular case, I don't think that was the case, but anyways, so this is where I would put that. So I'm gonna put down story book theater is a possibility. So that is a very simple but completed observation form, okay? And it's got all the elements of a framework. So if you want to get creative with it, if you want to make your own template, if you want to do your own bells and whistles to it, or if you my personal observation forms, I would do kind of like, I would make it look more like a diary for kids. Each kid had a diary. We can talk more about that, but that's the technology. That's how this technology works. So, all right, I'll see you online.